to sing. I want to talk about love. Love. What is love? Does anybody know? Well, that's a moot question, isn't it? So I asked Moot. And I asked Moot. Come on. So, Moot, you see, Moot, he's such a smart fella, and he's my first boyfriend. Oh, I was crazy about Moot. I went with Moot for, what did I go with him for? I don't remember now, but I really liked him. I liked him, but our romance was one of those triangles. You see, he and I were both in love with him. Well, anyhow, I said, Moot, how do you know when you're really in love? He said, Jeannie, you'll know because you'll feel so funny inside. You'll feel sick. And that's what happened when I met Jack. Jack asked me to marry him. And Jack, just looking at him, he was such a hunk of man, 6'2" and a solid 80 pounds. Oh, and he had the most fascinating eyes. They kept watching each other. And every time Jack came near me, I got hot and cold all over. When he kissed me, I broke out in a rash, and I got sick to my stomach. I thought, gee, this must be love. I never felt so sick in my life, so I married him. And you know what I found out afterwards? It wasn't love. I was allergic to him. Oh, but let me tell you something about this Jack. It's so funny the way I met him. You see, I was standing on a corner, as usual, and he walked by. Well, I dropped my handkerchief. He heard it and picked it up. And don't laugh, it was a very loud handkerchief. You know, purple, pink, blue, with yellow and green polka dots to match my car. So, anyhow, Jack asked me to go out, and I never went out with strangers, but he convinced me he was no stranger. He'd known himself for years. So we went out, and let me tell you something. He was a real sport. Money meant nothing. Nothing. He didn't have any. He took me out. He took me to a nightclub. What a band. 3 pieces, piano, stool, and player. And you know, you've seen those mambo fanatics, but this guy, mambo. Every dance, everybody got off the floor to watch because the band was playing a waltz. But anyhow, and listen, I don't want you to think I'm critical. I never criticize other people. This guy ate like he was going to the chair. I mean, as for manners, you know, I've seen people eat with their hands before, but not soup. And But, you know, really, I shouldn't make fun of him, should I? Because, after all, he is my husband, and he's so sweet. No, truly. I mean, he has a lot of little things like his disposition. Most fellas, they have a tough day at the racetrack. They get nasty. But not my Jack. He's so sweet, nothing bothers him. He drinks. And, of course, well, he doesn't drink because he likes it. He drinks to steady his nerves. The other night, they got so steady, he couldn't move at all. And let me tell you, he had a little accident, too. He was going from a nightclub to his car, and somebody stepped on his hand. But, you know, like people say to me, gee whiz, what'd you see in him? Why'd you marry him? Well, he's like a child. And, you know, all women love children, even if they're 35. But he's just like, he's like a baby. Every day it's something. Like this morning, he woke with a headache. And it's his own fault. I keep telling him when he jumps out of bed, it should be feet first, you see. But he's good to me. He is. He's so good to me. Always showering me with presents. Like when I went on my honeymoon, gave me a beautiful present, a matching set of luggage, 3 shopping bags. And that honeymoon, I'll never forget it as long as I live. 2 weeks of heaven. 2 weeks. Sometimes I wish he had come along with me. But you know, oh no, don't laugh. He's so thoughtful. He stayed home. You see, he thinks of everything. He said if we were seen together in the hotel, people would talk. But one thing about this hotel, the ad, you should have read the ad. It said, magnificent view, cross ventilation, good hunting, and it was true. The view, you should have seen the ventilation. A hole in the ceiling, a hole in the floor. But the view was gorgeous. I know, because there was someone looking through each hole. And classy. You know, you've seen those towels in private homes that read his and hers. Here they read, ours and don't you forget it. And let me tell you, as for good hunting, it was true. I never saw so many wolves in my life. And this one guy, was he a clay? You should have seen this. A big CPA, cleaning, pressing, alterations. And this fellow came in, and you know, he took me out, but he turned out to be the worst sneak in the whole world. He asked me to come to his room to look at an old chest. It was his.